I'm going to do a screencast on the tab control and adding and deleting tabs with content as we go. This is completely unscripted. I haven't even tried this yet, so I'll be pausing the video while I read documentation along the way. But I have done something similar in the past, so I know it's possible. So I'm going to start quickly by doing a new project, just a blank project. I'm going to call it tabs. Need to restart the server. So first place to go, I think, is to set up a quick model. So we go into tabs, into model. I'm leaving the server off so that when you change the model you have to reload it, so it's easier just to leave it off for right now. So I'm going to make 3 distinct data types. We'll make person class. We'll give them a first name string, last name string, and full name, which is a string. We're going to make this one a calculated attribute. I'm not going to get into a lot of error checking or anything, but we're just going to return this dot first name plus space plus this dot last name, and that will return the full name. Save that. Okay, another data type. Let's do a product, and maybe we have product number, a description, and that should be good for that. And to keep it interesting, let's make one more data type. Let's make it animal, and the animal will have a name and a country of origin. And that will be our model for now. I'll save it. So the goal here is to make, well, let's go into the interface page. We can be done with the model. Oops. Okay. Let's go into the index. And obviously the first thing we're going to pull on here is a tab view. And I'm going to give this a bit of space on the left hand side on purpose. Go to styles, go to size and position. I'm going to constrain it. We'll give it no border on the top and bottom, 140 on the left is fine, 0 on the right. So we've got tab fills the bulk of it. We'll do a quick run just to show you where it's at this point. That will start the server up. Let me just resize this. So basically we've got a tab view that sizes with the window. That's where we're at this point. Next, so what I want to do is I want to have a tab view that will, we're going to have 3 different things here. Where's button? So here's a button. Do 3 buttons, 1 for each data type. Button 1, this can be add person. Button 2 can be add product. Changing the IDs here. And then this one can be add animal. And add animal as the text. So we have 3 buttons. What's going to happen is when you click a button, it's going to open a new tab with a template for a new animal, a new product, or a new person. So the first thing we need to do is we'll save that just to be sure. Let's go back to the project browser. I'm going to go into web folder. I'm going to go new web component just to show you how you should organize things. Maybe let's do a new folder. Call this folder name template views. So these are going to be the base views for these different types. We'll go new web component, and we'll just call this one animal. We'll do it again in this same folder, new web component, call this one person, and new web component, and this one will be product. So we have 3 templates now. So we're just going to do a simple template. It opens them all by default. So product, I'm just going to grab a text here, and just so we can differentiate them. Product, save, person, do person here, save, and animal, grab another text, and this one can be animal. So now when it loads them, we'll be able to tell the differences. Save that one. Now with our tab interface here, we do have one default tab. I'm going to utilize this as maybe a splash page or something like that. Let's call it a dashboard. And what that's going to do, say, we just had a bunch of functions on there that we could do anything with, maybe shortcuts or some sort of application interface. I'm not going to populate it, but that's what it's going to be for. That tab will always remain. I'm going to have it visible all the time. You know what? Better than a generic interface. Let's actually work with some stuff here. Let's do a few grids. Don't have a lot of space here. And let's put those data types in these grids. So first let's size them. We'll just make them pretty much as tall as the container. So 20 top, 20 bottom. Same thing for this one. So this way we can add and delete different data types. So I'm just going to put them in here. Animal, person, and product. So there we have 3 lists of the different data types, so we can add and delete some on this dashboard. I suppose I can take the IDs out of them. Seeing as we don't want to be entering the IDs manually. There, so let's save that. So let's just get adding tabs working. It's pretty easy. So if we want to add a person, just go to events, on click. Sorry, the first thing we need to know is what that tab's ID is. Tab view's ID, tab view 1. So anyways, we can just keep that name. It's simple enough. So go back to the index to the on click. What we do is we just do a Waconda tab view 1. So we'll call on this component, add tab, and you pass the name of the tab here. Let's give that a whirl. Oops. So there's our, let's see, so if we do add person, it doesn't work. Like I said, it's going to be rough. Hold on. Well, for some reason this is working fine in Firefox, so I'm just going to shut Chrome down here and bring over Firefox. I put a debugger in here just to make sure. I have officially switched to Firefox as my debugging, or as my development browser. I find Chrome caches a lot of things. Okay, so size this. So if we refresh, you'll see that the code, we click it, adds a new tab. Simple as that. So let's duplicate that in the other buttons. Index. I'll go here, events, on click, back to the index, animal, events, on click. So we've got our 3 button event handlers here. I'm going to change the label of this to new person. Copy this line, paste it here. Oops. This will be new product, new animal. So let's just make sure that all 3 are working. I'll save it and back to the browser, refresh. So we add a person, new person, add a product, new product, add an animal, new animal. And then you're back and forth between the different tabs. So next thing we want to do is we want to load the template in for each of these different types. So one thing you'll notice, if I add a product here, when you add a new tab, that tab becomes selected by default. So I'm going to use that to identify it so that we can then load into the container. So I'm going to switch back over to the studio. We're going to clean this up a bit. You don't want to repeat yourself like this if you can help it. So let's go into the project browser, into the scripts, new JavaScript file. We'll call it functions. Oops. Okay. And that's where we're going to put a common function. Function add tab, and we're going to take in a type. So that'll be an animal, product, or something else. And we're going to add a new tab and load the web component template. Save that. I'm going to run out of time soon, but what we want to do before we do that is go back into index. So we've got function add, add tab. So we want to go to document here in the index, properties, scripts. Make sure that that function scripts gets loaded. So back to the project browser, and I'm just going to drag it into here. We can save. And then we want to fix these buttons. We've got 1 minute here. So in here, instead of doing this exactly, we are going to what did we call it? Functions add tab. So add tab, and this is animal. And here add tab product, go lowercase. Actually, you know what? We'll go uppercase on all of them because they are, we'll line them up with the data class name. And this one, add tab person. Okay, well that's my first video, and I will continue from here on the next one.